Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer on durable district innovation. Listen, if you're a district leader, an IT director, or just an educator stepping into this wild world of AI, you're probably asking yourself one big question. How do we build systems that actually last? Like, how do you build a legacy of innovation that doesn't just completely crumble the second a brand new app drops? Well, today we're unpacking the architectural foundations you need for truly long-term district innovation.
Okay, let's dive into this, and we've really got to address the elephant in the room right up front. As our source material points out, the AI tools and platforms you are using right now, yeah, they're not going to look the same in 2 years. I mean, think about how ridiculously fast things are moving. Tools like GitHub Copilot are just constantly evolving. We're seeing entirely new agentic tools popping up practically overnight. And honestly, some of the systems we're relying heavily on right now are absolutely going to be superseded. 2. That number right there represents the half-life of specific AI interfaces right now. Just 2 years. So think about it. If your entire practice as a builder or your whole strategy as a district leader is built around memorizing the specific buttons, menus, and interfaces of one single tool, you're just setting yourself up for total exhaustion. You're going to be relearning everything all the time. And from a district perspective, that constant cycle of retraining is a massive drain on your time, your budget, and obviously your human resources.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're talking about. On one side, you have the total chaos of a tool-centric practice. That's the hamster wheel, right? Always chasing the newest interface, constantly rewriting your training manuals. But on the flip side, we find the calm, solid stability of a workflow-centric practice. This is where you anchor your innovation to stable, unchanging principles. It is quite literally the fundamental difference between endlessly chasing fleeting tech trends and investing in durable, long-lasting architectural design. Which brings us to the core visionary thesis of our explainer today. Simply put, software dies, but educational workflows are basically immortal. The most durable tools out there in districts aren't built around whatever specific tech happens to be popular today. They are built around the human workflows they serve. If you're trying to assess real, long-term value, you've got to stop looking at the software itself and really start looking at the process it's enabling.
So what does a workflow-centric practice actually look like in the real world? Well, it relies on what we call stable builder principles. These are methodologies that are going to remain perfectly valid no matter what new front-end framework or crazy AI model hits the market next month. For example, keeping a human-in-the-loop cycle works securely with absolutely any AI tool. Having a rigorous security review checklist applies to code from any model, whether it was built today or 5 years down the line. And the sheet-as-brain architecture? That just means using familiar, rock-solid spreadsheets as your central database instead of some overly complex software backend. That strategy is going to stay incredibly useful no matter how much the underlying AI shifts around. Let's ground this with a highly practical example from the source material. Think about a school counselor's weekly progress reporting workflow. That is a deeply human, incredibly stable need within literally any school district. If you build a tool that automates and supports that specific workflow, you've just created something durable. Why? Well, because that core workflow doesn't suddenly change just because an AI company decided to release a new API version. The actual human need remains totally steady. Let's move to and see how this builds into practical system architecture. Because knowing that workflows are stable but tools change means we have to design our systems for something the source calls replaceability. This right here is the secret sauce for how you future-proof your district's technology and actually build for the long haul. Architecting for replaceability actually happens down at the component level. Step 1, your data layer needs to be completely independent. Step 2, your presentation layer, the part the user's actually clicking around on, that should be its own independent piece too. And step 3, which is absolutely crucial right now, isolate your LLM integration. The connection to the AI model needs to be locked down in a single, isolated function. That way, when a way better, faster, or cheaper AI model inevitably comes out next year, you just update that one single function. You don't have to touch or rewrite the rest of your code base. This kind of isolation is literally the ultimate safeguard for your district's budget, stopping those crazy expensive system rebuilds every time the tech takes a step forward. But listen, true durability isn't just about the code or the architecture. We really have to shift our focus over to the human element here. The source material outlines that completing a builder's permit, which is the certification for doing this kind of work, is the beginning of a community, not just some credential you hang on your wall. For district leaders trying to gauge long-term ROI, the true value isn't just the neat software your people are building today. The real value is the certified peer network you're building for tomorrow. Now, what's really interesting about this is how we see the compounding value of this network. The long-term vision includes a builder community of practice. This is a peer network where certified builders are sharing their templates, reviewing each other's work, and teaming up on much larger projects. The tools you build actually become part of a shared, district-wide portfolio. By working together, this community collectively raises the bar on what district tools even look like. It transforms these isolated little pockets of innovation into a massive, district-wide movement. Which means we really have to reframe how we view these credentials entirely. The builder's permit is the starting line. It is not the finish line. It's simply the credential that says, hey, you are ready to build seriously. And believe me, district AI leads are actively watching for builders who take this to heart. They aren't just looking for folks who hold the credential, they're looking for people who are actually going to use it.
So the crucial point is really about what you do with that capability. True builders use their permit to solve very real district problems. They're building tools that make a teacher's day-to-day work easier and tools that support students so much more effectively. It's all about demonstrating what is actually possible when someone inside a school district brings together the knowledge, the sound judgment, and the creative drive to build something incredible that just didn't exist before. And that is the true architectural foundation of durable district innovation. It's workflows over tools, it's replaceability over rigid code, and it's community over isolated efforts. That's what the builder's permit is really for. So I'll leave you with this final thought. You've got the permit. You understand the architecture. Now, what are you going to build?